and welcome to another evening of frank conversation here on Hard Copy. I'm Maokpe Ogun Yusuf. Well, last week it was congratulations because Nigeria had beat Iceland, but not so this week. What a week it's been. We woke up to the horrific news of bloodletting again on the plateau, this time taking the lives of over 100 people in its aftermath. Some have labeled it a reprisal, others say it's a land grab, still others, terrorism, pure and simple. What we do know is that whatever it is, these killings cannot continue. The blame game and finger-pointing that seem to follow after attacks like this also leaves a lot to be desired. But do they give any clue as to what Nigeria as a country could be really up against? Well, we certainly must keep talking until we fully understand the problem and find a solution that works. Tonight, to discuss the issues, as we've heard and seen them reported, is retired Group Captain Sadiq Shehu, who is an adjunct professor at the George C. Marshall Center and an experienced peace, security, and conflict subject matter expert. Sadiq Shehu, welcome to Hard Copy.
Happy to be with you, Marpe.
Well, it's another week, another tale of disaster. Let's start by asking, do you think the classifications are important? We've heard reprisals, we've heard land grab, we've heard terrorism. Where do you think these latest attacks fall?
Well, in my own view, classifications are necessary because you need such classifications to really, trace the history and the cause and effect if you are going to look for lasting solutions. It is only in to that extent that classifications are necessary. Apart from that, what matters most is the fact that people are died and people are dying. Properties have been lost and a lot of resources that should have been channeled to other aspects of national development are being plowed into security matters. So on the one hand, you have, because by God's grace we come over these things, we need to write the histories of these things. So classifications, true or false, are really necessary in that aspect. But what is more important as human beings is the lives lost and the break on our national development.
It's very interesting you say classifications true or false,
exactly.
Which goes to show that we're yet to fully understand the problem. Yes. I'll have you listen to some of the tracks that we have now, I think out of the president and that of some protesters who had gone on the streets after, in the aftermath of the attacks, and let us know what you think about them.
What happened here is very bad. And the costume of leadership from your household to whatever you are is justice. The bottom line is justice. This is why when I go, normally after terrible incidents, I get the leadership of the communities, the law enforcement agents, and tell them to please continue to have control over their consequences. Whatever is being given to the press, we have to be very responsible about it. The bad case of Benway, which is now leveling every incident as harder, the Benway stagnant farmer knows that the Nigerian cattle herder that didn't carry anything more than a spec. Occasionally, maybe with something to cut foliage and give it to their animals. But the present herder is very good with AK-47, I'm told. And people are even blaming me for not talking because maybe I look like one of them.
Christians in the northern zone where this attack has consistently happened are out today in Jos, the capital of Plateau State, and in marching from Old Airport to the government house, simply requesting the governor of Plateau State to become the governor of Plateau State if he is, to stand for the people of Plateau and return back our lands that have been captured. The perpetrators are there. They kill people, they enter the people's house and live there, they stay in our churches, and you see them, you cannot attack them, you cannot arrest them, we have problem. We know that we are law-abiding people, and that is why we protest to go and meet our governor, to tell our governor that we put him in that position to help our people.
They have taken our lands in Riyom, in Berkinladi, in Bokos, in Bassa, and then nobody is saying anything. You can see example, we are coming, the Hausa boys here at Rayfield, they want to do something, and the military are looking at them, they did not say anything. If our children have reacted, the first thing they will shoot our children.
You can hear, you heard the president there talking about, you know, the problem being generally classified as farmers-herders conflict. He doesn't seem to agree. I don't know if you got that reading from there, because he says the current, you know, herders, I'm told, are very good with AK-47. And, you know, people are saying, the question is, what do you get from that statement, first and foremost? Did you get that we have been told what precisely could be happening? What precisely is your reading from it?
Well, just like we all know, there are different versions of this conflict. There are different versions, whether it is a farmers, cattle herders clash, whether it is House of Fulani versus indigenous people clash, whether it is Muslims and Christians, something to do with jihad. Depending on where you hear all these things. However, to me, what is important is that criminality is criminality.